Welcome back to another adventure in the garage. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Luke, and in today's video, we're going to be helping you out with all of the settings for your Southwire. This is the model 10031S, and it is a manual ranging multimeter. I'm assuming that all of you here are probably new to making measurements with your multimeter and you're not really familiar with any of it. So I'm going to help you break down all the different settings and what these different ports are for. And then we'll go ahead and run through some practical measurements to get you more exposed to how to use one of these little guys. And just go over some of the symbols and some of the units that we'll want to understand. The V with the squiggly line, that squiggly line represents a sine wave, and it's trying to tell you that's for voltage AC. AC voltage is, you know, something like what would be coming out of your wall of your home or your apartment or anything like that. Then we have our resistive measurements here. This capital M is going to be for mega, and the K is for kilo. When we think of mega, we think of million. So this is up to 2 million ohms. And this would be like up to 200,000 ohms and so forth down the line. Then we have continuity. That's a little speaker tone to indicate that it's going to make a sound when you have flow through a conductor. We have our DC current measurements down here. The lowercase m is for milli. Think of this as 0.2 amps or 200 milliamps. This funky looking U is for micro. So we see 2000 microamps is equivalent to 0.002 amps or 0.002 milliamps or 2000 microamps. Then we have our battery testing settings here for a 1.5 and 9 volt. And then finally our DC voltage settings up to 600 volts all the way down to 200 millivolts. Next, we want to pay attention to our ports. Our black lead will always live in the common port, and then our red lead most of the time will stay in this port here. This is for volts, ohms, continuity, milliamps, and microamps, and it's a fused port rated up to 200 milliamps of current. So the only time that you're going to switch this over to this port is when you're making an amperage measurement greater than 200 milliamps and you're using this 10 amp DC current setting. You'll notice that for the majority of the duration of this video, this is where my port leads will live, except for a couple measurements, my red lead will be swapped to here. That's gonna be important to note. You also have 2 fuses in your meter. In case you make a mistake and you do a measurement wrong, those fuses will blow. They're back here where your battery lives. And then you can go ahead and swap it out. So let's go ahead and get started with just a simple AC voltage measurement. With these manual ranging meters, the rule of thumb that I like to go by is I start big and then I work my way small. So whatever I'm trying to measure, I'll start at the biggest number and then I'll work my way down to get the clarity that I need. Think of a manual ranging meter like a microscope. When we are looking at something under a microscope, we generally have our microscope set very high, and then we zoom in as we want to get clarity for what we're trying to look at. Same kind of thing with our meter. So for a voltage AC setting, you know, there's a chance that you don't know exactly what the voltage is going to be. It could be 240 volts. It could be 120 volts. So you could just start at the 600 volt setting and then go ahead and take a measurement. So here I'm showing 119 volts. Now with measuring AC voltage, unlike DC voltage, our lead polarity, that means the red or the black lead, it's not going to matter for AC because the voltage and current in AC goes back and forth. So you'll notice that whichever way I put my leads, I'll get the same measurement. Now, if I wanted some more detail, some better clarity of my measurement, I could go ahead and put this down to the 200 volt AC setting. And now I'll have a tenths measurement there. So now I'm getting a more accurate measurement. It's showing me 119.2 volts. For these settings, say if it was over 200 volts AC, I would want to make sure to keep it on this 600 volt setting. Let's go ahead and go through our resistive measurement settings. We have a number of resistors here as examples. Doing your resistive settings isn't just limited to resistors. Any kind of electrical load, you know, say even a light bulb here, there's going to be resistance in that electrical load. So it's just another thing that you can go ahead to measure for troubleshooting. So again, we'll start big and then we'll work our way small. We're at the 200 Megaohm setting and we'll take a measurement here. Okay, how do we read this? Well, this says 1.042 and then it has a capital M, Megaohm. So this is 1,042,000 ohms. That's what that's reading. We can go down to another resistor. Now this is 0.098 megaohms. So how would we read that? Well, we think of mega as million. So a million would be starting here. So this would be 98,000 ohms. And if we wanted more clarity on that, we could go ahead and work our way down this knob here. And now our unit is in kilo. We had the K for kilo, and it's letting us know, okay, 98,300 ohms. We're getting better resolution. What if we kept going? We're gonna get an OL. And OL can mean a few different things. In this context, it's gonna mean out of limits. It means that we're set too low. So if we see an OL, it doesn't mean that there's not necessarily voltage or resistance or anything like that. It could simply be that we're out of limits for the setting that we're on for our meter. So we can go ahead and flip it back and shows us, okay, we're at 98K. Now let's take another measurement. 10K ohms, 9.9, so 9,900 ohms. We've got a 20 here, so this says up to 20K ohms. If we wanted more clarity, we could bring it down another notch. And now we have to the hundreds. So now we know, okay, this is 9,970 ohms. It's a more accurate measurement, but that's going to be above the 2K ohm reading. We can predict that if we go to the next setting down, we'll get that OL. Start back at the top, take another measurement. Okay, this is showing 0.001 megaohms. So that's pretty small. So let's start working our way down the wheel. So this is 985 ohms. Too much for our 200 ohm setting. It's about 1,000 ohms. And keep working our way down. There's 327, and then lastly, 100 ohms. And that's what it would look like. There's no K, there's no M. It's just our omega symbol and 100 listed. Next is our continuity setting. It's that little speaker. And really all that's trying to tell you is that there is a connection from one end of a wire to another, and it produces a tone. This setting is really handy if you're working with a lot of different wires. You can put a lead on one end of the wire that you're looking for, and on the other end of a bunch of different wires, you can go through and touch. And when you hear that tone, it lets you know, okay, this is the wire that you're looking for. So that can be very handy. Next up, we're gonna do our amperage settings. Like with the rest of our settings, I'm going to start big and work my way down to be safe, because you don't necessarily know how much current you're gonna be working with for different loads. We don't wanna accidentally blow our fuse. So I don't know how much current these two loads are gonna draw. So I'm gonna swap this red lead over to my 10 amp port, and I'll put my dial to the 10 amp DC measurement. All the amperage measurements here are only rated for DC and not AC, so keep that in mind. Something that's different with making amperage measurements is we do these measurements in what's known as series. Basically, our meter turns into a jumper wire, and we're using our meter leads to complete the circuit. We can see here, I'm measuring 2 amps of DC current, but I have a negative sign. What does that mean? Well, that just means that the flow of electrons is in the reverse direction of what we're expecting. If we want to get rid of that negative sign, we can go ahead and flip our leads around. And now there's no negative sign, and we're just showing, okay, 2.05 amps of current. Let's take a look at another load. It's my little motor here. You can see it takes considerably less. So this would be 400 milliamps of current, or 410 milliamps of current. Still a lot greater than our 200 milliamp rating for this port. It's about twice the amount of current. So it was good that we went ahead and switched to our 10 amp port to be on the safe side. A few different resistors here that we can use as very small loads for examples to learn how to better read our meter. I don't know exactly how much current they're gonna take, so for now I'm gonna leave my red lead in the 10 amp port because I don't know how much current there's gonna be. I'm gonna make sure and verify that it's less than 200 milliamps first, then I'll swap it over. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first load here, and that's less than 200 milliamps. That's about 120 milliamps. So I can go ahead and swap this over, and then I can even change my setting. The setting is saying up to 200 milliamps, and I know that I'm under that, so I can go ahead and swap it there. I can take my measurement again, and now I should be able to get a lot better clarity, a lot more accurate measurement. 124. So now I can go through, let's see our next load, how much current it's going to be taking. This is showing 12 milliamps, and I'm showing to the 10th. But if I wanted to get to the 100th, an even more accurate measurement, I could go down here to this 20 setting, and now we're showing, okay, 12.27 milliamps is how much current that load is taking. And then for our last one, this one looks very small. It is 1 milliamp, 1.2 milliamps. Then again, I can go to that 2000 microamp setting, and I'm showing a really accurate measurement of 1,196 microamps. It's a very, very small amount of current. Up next, we have our 1.5 volt battery measurement. And what we can do is we've got our leads in the proper ports, and then we can go ahead and put our red to positive and our black to negative, and it's showing 1.5 volts. Now, what's the difference between this and taking a DC measurement? These battery testing settings, they basically load test the battery. We'll want to make sure that we're in the right amount of voltage rating for the battery, and then we can go ahead, we can do that with a 9 volt as well. Same kind of deal, red to positive, black to negative. We're showing a nice 9.5 volts. So both these batteries are looking good in my book. And lastly, we have this voltage DC range right here. A mistake that you're gonna make and that you want to be very careful of is you can get excited about taking your measurements, and this happens to everybody, even professionals. You can leave your red lead in the 10 amp port. What makes this dangerous, if you do that and you go to measure a big battery, something like this, and you hook your leads up to it, well, you just created a short circuit and you just blew the fuse in your meter. So we always want to be super careful to remember red lead in the voltage port for voltage measurements. I've got a power supply here that can give us a bunch of different voltage measurements, so we can just go through and take a look at how to read it and what that would look like. Again, like everything else, I'm going to want to start big, right? I want to start at 600 volts and work my way down for clarity. So I don't know what voltage I'm trying to read necessarily. As you get better and more experienced with it, you'll be able to take a measurement, or you'll have an understanding of what you're trying to measure, and you'll be like, oh, 32, I should be on the 200 setting, because I know if I go down to 20, that'll be out of limits. So you'll get a better idea, and you'll be able to jump to the appropriate setting a lot quicker. But as you're starting out and you're learning, I would just start big and work your way in small. We can see too, for a DC voltage measurement, notice my black lead is to black and my red lead is to red. Otherwise, I'll get that negative sign that we saw before that's showing up in that left-hand side. So I'll keep black to black, red to red, and then I can go ahead and now I can read 32 volts to the 10th. Okay, we're at 2 volts. You could start at 600. 600 knows that there's something there. It knows there's probably about 2 volts, but it's bouncing back and forth. The resolution of it's not very good. And we could start to work our way down, down. Now we can see to the 1000th place, what we're trying to read is 1.991 volts. So there's a lot more detail, a lot more accuracy in that. And then if we went to the 200 millivolt setting, well, it would be out of limits. So let's go ahead and start big. Let's get a very small voltage. Okay, I got a really, really small voltage going on here. So the meter's reading 0 volts. We can work our way down, still at 0. Now the meter's starting to pick up. It knows something's there, it's just not very accurate. And finally, now we can see it's displayed as a whole number, and then our units at the top have changed as a reminder. Hey, you're in millivolts. This is 33 millivolts, 33 DC millivolts that you have here. And that's a very small amount. Now the hold button, some of you might be curious about that. It's a measurement that you want to save. You can just hit the hold button, pull your leads away. You can step away and write this down. Kind of a handy function. But there you go. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know down in the comment section. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. And if not, give me a thumbs down. I always appreciate the feedback. Next, I think we're going to be going over, this came in the kit as well. It's a hot stick and an outlet wiring checker. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go through and set up some faults. And we can go over how to read and use both of these. They came with your kit. Because I imagine if you got it, you're probably trying to sort out some electrical issues that you're having at your place. Thank you all for joining me in another adventure in the garage. I'm Luke, and I'll catch you on the next one.